America's founding fathers were wicked men because they owned slaves. And as a consequence of this, everything that they taught, everything they believed, the structure of government that they set up, they are discredited. And it all needs to be burned down and replaced with something different. At least that's the narrative that we're hearing from the left and from woke culture. But I think it's important for us to recognize that our task in our generation is to bring forward with us the best of previous generations and not to throw out those principles that have given us the freest and most prosperous society in the history of the world. I was reading in Genesis recently, and it said that of Noah in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 9, that he was righteous in his generation. That is, that he pleased God, his walk with God pleased God. But also the Hebrew phrasing there indicates that in comparison to the time in which he lived, Noah was a righteous man. He lived in a wicked time, so wicked that God determined to obliterate mankind through the flood. And in comparison to the generation in which he lived, Noah was a righteous man. And it reminds me of our founding fathers. I would by no means justify or make excuse for the North Atlantic slave trade, the manifestation of slavery in the North American continent, in our country, the treatment of blacks, the treatment of the Jim Crow law, all the evil and terrible. So I should not be misunderstood in that regard. But slavery has been a universal institution for all of human history. And the point I'm making is that our founding fathers were not unique in the ownership of slaves. And as a matter of fact, I have a book I really enjoy. It's called Speeches That Changed the World. And one of the speeches that is in that book is Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, which he delivered in Washington, D.C. And in that speech, he mentions America's promissory note as contained in our Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal, and that America was falling short of that ideal, and that the Negro was coming to Washington to cash a check. And that check was this guarantee, this promise that all men are created equal, and to point out that we were living beneath that standard. So it's a debate how we work this out together, but to bring forward with us the best of our history, the best of our heritage, the best of the principles of our founders, and to negotiate and consider those things that we want to leave behind. Slavery we want to leave behind. Jim Crow we want to leave behind. Racism we want to leave behind, certainly. But let's not tear down the structure upon which our society is built. Let's not throw out the good principles. We go to the Word of God, we see where those principles align, and we keep those things.